Oh, Shock and Awe is the film we're discussing today. It's directed by Rob Reiner. Great director. It's films like A Few Good Men, Bucket List, Misery. He's got his own production company, Rock Castle Entertainment. A real top of the end director. He's actually in this. He's also a well-known actor, Rob Reiner. If you Google him, you'll see his history is unbelievable. And this is his film starring Woody Harrelson, Tommy Lee Jones, James Marsden, who I like a lot, James Marsden, Jessica Biel, and an A-lister cast, Milia Jovovich. Anyway, I probably pronounced that wrong, but an A-list cast. So, this is a true story, and I love true stories, and this is an unbelievable true story. This is a film that will go under the radar, and I'm going to go completely against the trend on this film. I've seen 2 reviews for it. I don't really look at other reviews, but I wanted to see what they had to say. And, of course, in America, it's not gone down too well, and I'll explain why. So, James Marsden, Woody Harrelson are working for a company, true story, for a company called Knight Rider, who are independent writers that then distribute their stories to 60 newspapers like Washington Post, New York Times. They're very independent to other writers. So, when the towers fall in New York, they send out Rob Reiner, his 2 top people, find out what the story is with this, who did the attack. They start to speak to their contacts, people that work in the Pentagon and for the President Bush, and basically start finding out information. No one really knows what's going on. Now, Bush is adamant that Saddam Hussein and Bin Laden are together on this, but more importantly, Saddam Hussein has chemical warfare, has chemical missiles that he's going to attack America with. So that's their main aim, is to find out if that's true. They speak to people who are high up that they don't want to be named, and they're basically telling them it's a load of bullshit. He's got no chemical warfare. He's got nothing like this. He's just basically planning to attack individual parts of America and Europe. So they start to go along with this story and they stick to it. And of course, no one wants to print it. And they go about it in a way where they're trying to get the story out there, but no one will touch it because Bush has got all his allies, all his top people around him, and they're saying, no, we've got to go and attack, we've got to go and sort out Saddam Hussein, he's a #1 target, and they don't want this story leaking because basically it doesn't back up sending all them troops to Iraq and to find out if Saddam Hussein is lying or not. So, looking back, I don't want to go into great detail about this film, but looking back, this is an absolute travesty of really what happened, because I'm not going to lie to you, you worked out yourself that the missiles didn't exist, and in the end of the film, the credits, you'll see the real 2 people who the actors are playing, and you'll see this woman who the New York Times followed and said that there was missiles and she was giving it large, and I mean, she near enough names these 2 as the only people in America that got it right. Now, this is a hard watch, and I can understand why the American critics don't like this film. Fully understand it. First of all, it's about 90 minutes. I think it's 84, but they say 90 for argument's sake. It should have been really a 3-hour movie, because if you watch Spotlight about the priests in America that was out last year or the year before, it should have been in that line of duty, where it should have been alongside that, because this is unbelievable. This is basically a Watergate movie. They actually named those 2 in the film because it's unbelievable. They're finding out information that is being told to Americans is complete and utter lie, that these missiles exist. And they know for a fact that the missiles don't exist. They know because they've spoken to secretaries who no one takes any notice of, listening to people talking in corridors. I know it sounds crazy, but really, you can't believe what you're watching because it actually happened. They sent troops out there who lost their lives looking for missiles that never existed, getting blown up by landmines. There's a story that tags along with the film, and you'll see that to one young guy. It's just incredible that this could happen. 2 men, that's all it was, 2 men out of the whole of America stood up to the government. And you know, I'm not a great lover of Bush. I always thought he lived off his father. And I've got a lot of respect for America. I like the way that they do things, you know, that person can work from the ground upwards. They don't have to have the correct tie on or go to Eton or Harrow to be a prime minister or a public school boy. And, you know, you have to respect some of the things they've done over history. They've always been a good ally to this country until we started putting up orange balloons. And apparently that's humour. I mean, this is the country that gave America actors, Shakespeare, culture and music. And we give them our best comedy is to put up an orange balloon. Very sad day for this country. I'm sorry, but I've got to be said. Getting back to the film. So the Americans, they don't like this film. And I understand it. No one wants to hear the truth. So it's been limited cinema release. Now, it comes out over here in September. And I ask you to get hold of this by DVD, get hold of it by download, whatever you've got to do. If it doesn't go to a cinema, it's called Shock and Awe. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Everyone else will probably give it a 4 out of 10, a 5. I don't care. I'm sticking to what I was still thinking about this film 2 hours after I watched it, and I was still thinking about it this morning. How bad can it be when two people know something and they won't allow it to be told? And when they eventually get it told, they said, oh yeah, they were right. Very, very sad. Some great performances in it. Woody Harrelson, he's up there with the A-list as far as I'm concerned. If you're not a fan of Woody Harrelson, then stay away. Tommy Lee Jones plays Tommy Lee Jones, but he's playing a real person who wrote a book that was an Oscar-winning film, no, Oscar-nominated film, We Were Soldiers, with Mel Gibson. He plays that author who used to write for the paper. James Marsden, who I've got a lot of time for, is very good in this. He's got a big career in front of him. He's been around, he's been hovering around. You'll know him if you Google him. Now, I've left a link for this film so you can watch the trailer. I'm not going to go on about it anymore, but Shock and Awe is what it's called. If you can catch it, catch it. 9 out of 10. Magic, unbelievable film. Have a great day. Looking forward to seeing if anything else is coming my way. 3 movies in 2 days. 1 will stay with me for a long time. Shock and Awe.